Hello, I'm Aniruddha Mukherjee, and here is my Modern Application Development Tool project video. I hope it's going to be short, so let's dive right in. So first, I'd like to start off with my DB schema, and that's in this application DB Visualizer. Essentially, I have a table for every question. So I have a table for every subject. The subject has multiple chapters. The chapter has multiple quizzes. Each quiz has multiple questions, and also there's a score associated with each quiz. Essentially another, and so that's one part. The other part of the database schema is about this user, and the user has an export request and an export job. These are two tables that are linking to the user because users request these exports. So that's my DB schema. Now I'd like to go into a demo of the actual project itself. So it was running beforehand. So I started the Redis server. I have started a Celery worker, and I started Celery app beat as well. Now I'm going to do Now I'm going to start my app. This is how my app starts up. Essentially, it's a login screen and the user has to log in. Currently, I'll just log in with the admin. So this is the admin dashboard. The admin dashboard shows the admin a lot of information right off the bat visually, such as the subjects, the chapters, the number of quizzes, the number of questions, and the number of users in the app currently. So for example, and it also shows the recent users and a subject overview as to how many chapters and quizzes have been made. Right? So for example, maths has 3 chapters with 2 quizzes. So we can check that out by going to the dashboard. This is the dashboard view. Sorry about that. This is the dashboard view. And these are currently the users in our app. So one is the admin and the other one are the users which I've created before this demo. For example, we had seen math had 3 chapters and 2 quizzes. So these are the 3 chapters. And this is quiz 1, quiz and 2. Right? And probability doesn't have any quizzes. So that's why this graph is correct. 3 chapters, 2 quizzes. I'd now like to display what would happen if uh, a, a, a user tried to change this to user, right? It would say page not found or access denied because the admin cannot access the user's dashboard, neither can the user access the admin's dashboard. So we're still logged in as admin. So that's role-based access control, RBAC. So we can create a subject by doing add subject. Right? Inside the subject, we can create a chapter. We can also edit this by doing this. So it gets edited and we can delete as well. So I'll add a chapter again. And I'll add a quiz to this chapter. So for every quiz, you can set 2 things, the start date and the end date. These are very important because they sort of guide if the quiz can be attempted or not. So let's let the start date be 30th itself, and the end date it can be 3rd of April. The duration is in hours, minutes. So this means 10 minutes, and your marks is quiz 1. So once I go into this, I can add a question to my quiz. So let's say demo question 1, 2, 3, 4, and this let's say 3 is the correct option. I can add another question as well. Right, and let's say over here 4 is the correct option. So this is how you can add questions and stuff, and you can delete questions as well. So are you sure you want to delete this question? Question 2, yes I want to do, so I delete it. So this basically is the admin functionality, and I can delete this entire subject as well. Okay, yeah. So I need to delete everything in between, but it's fine. So now moving on to the user. I have three users already as I've shown earlier. So let's go to U3 and give its password. Before that, let me show you how to register a user. So let's say U4, and let's say I want to make the password only 5 letters long, and I give a user 4, and I do intech, and let's say the date of birth is any date. So yeah, register. It doesn't allow me because I have form validation where it has to be at least 6 characters, right? So I added 6, and now it allows me to register, and now I can log into the user. So user 4, but I already have a user set up. So let's go there. So this is, let's say, user 3. User 3 has, so the reason all these graphs are showing and these quizzes are showing is because I did it ahead of time. But essentially, it shows you the number of quizzes user 3 has done, the average score, which is calculated by simple 9 by 13, right? And then like the performance, where if it's above a certain threshold, we give it good, else medium or bad. This graph shows you the overall progress, which is the same as this, and the performance by subject. So he's doing really well in chemistry, but not as good in physics or maths. And this is the score percentage, right? So initially, it was all right, and then sort of the score declined, as you can see here as well. If you go to the My Scores tab, you see the same view as this one, as the earlier dashboard view. So hold on, dashboard. Yeah, as this recent quiz attempts, but this is capped to a certain number of quizzes, and this is the entire archival display in a tabular format. Now, let me show you, let me do a quiz and we can see how it actually works. So let's say I do algebra. So this is a cool feature I talked about. So algebra, the date is for April 1st, and it's not April 1st right now. So it's currently 4 p.m. in UTC, right? Which is what we're using for the app. So it's not available, but once it becomes that, it will be available. So let's, instead of algebra, we can do geometry. So this was already attempted. So maybe I can try a different quiz. So yeah, let's say this quiz, right? This was already done, and that's gone full as I've shown earlier. So now let's do this one. So this is the UI to start a quiz. So an atom is mostly empty space, an electron has negative charge, neutrons are located in the nucleus. So I do submit. Post every choosing an option, a toast comes on the bottom right corner, answer recorded. So submit. So it's quite easy quiz. That's why I got 100%. Go back to dashboard, and now it's updated. So you see this 100% that's come for atomic structure that I just gave, right? Um, Another feature is the exports. So if you go here, the user can request a CSV export, and a backend job will be run in Celery to do this export. So request export, and so the job ran, and I can download it now. Yeah. And this is the export that comes with the date, right? We just saw the time in UTC, it was 4 p.m. around. And yeah, the score and the question and stuff like that. The last thing that is left to show are the backend jobs, and I'll show them by hitting a test route, because it's hard to. So currently it's configured to run daily at 6 p.m. and monthly on the 1st. I could uncomment this and start this as well, but I'll probably do that in the Viva and not now in the video. It'll be messy and it'll take long. So I have created a set of routes to test the daily reminders and the monthly reports. So I'm just going to use this route. So I log out of the user. I go back to the admin. Yeah. So yeah, the admin can search for any user, like let's say 4, U4 comes up, or let's say 3, U3 comes up, right? Or let's say quiz. So only the admin has the word quiz in its name. And now I'll just test the yeah, I'll just test this out. So first I have to put an API and then slash and then yeah, paste. So because of this, an email should go to each of the users, giving them like a reminder to come back to the platform. So it says the reminder job has been initiated. And yeah, I just got a notification sound. And if I go back to sent and just reload, yeah, you can see these two emails have come. So for example, hello user 4, stuff like this, right? And it's gone to each of the users. So user 1 as well. Because they haven't attempted any quizzes. So that's essentially it for the demo. Yeah, so because we're an admin, so we go to admin. And yeah, I hope you like my project. I hope it wasn't too long, the video. And learned a lot making this project. I'll just delete this hello, uh, quizzes, delete the question as well. Yeah, so thank you so much. Uh, this is the code, and the code is also available on this GitHub repository, which I'll make public post thing. Thank you. So I'm Mukherjee signing off, roll number 23F1003186.